Let's talk about the men's, though, because they missed out on 2020 Tokyo Olympics in controversial fashion at the weekend. David Harte is with us to talk about it this morning. David, good morning to you. How are you doing?
Hi guys, how are you doing?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't fully understand exactly what happened or how the rules applied or were applied correctly or incorrectly in the last play of the game. For people who are just coming to this story, you guys were on the verge of qualification when basically with the last play of the game, you got called for a penalty. What happened?
Oh, it's one of those stories that's been going around the heads probably of everyone involved for the last 48 hours now. And we had the ball with about 30 seconds to go. Canada broke away and managed to enter our circle under pressure from one of our defenders. And a Canadian striker went to the ground, and we thought, right, the on-field umpires gave just a wide ball, like nothing was going on, no issues, no hassle. And of course, Canada had a video referral left, and I think they were all pretty looking for a bit of chance, really, to go, listen, we might as well use it. And they went and they asked, we're just looking for, I think it was a body tackle or something was their exact words, and I went upstairs to the video referral. And the video umpire came back with a decision of a penalty stroke. Still, right now, can't quite fathom the decision or the outcome of that. And it has cost an awful lot of us, a life's work going towards another Olympic Games, and for some guys, the first chance at going to an Olympic Games. So we're all absolutely devastated.
In retrospect, was there any case to be made that it was a penalty?
No, honestly, to be honest, in my opinion, absolutely not. If you go through the bylaws and all of them, there's plenty of them. The video umpire wasn't asked anything with regards to is it a penalty stroke or not. It goes up to the TMO, or the video referral as we refer to it. And he was asked a simple question, looking for a body check. That was it. It wasn't asked to deem it, is it a penalty, is it whatever. And yeah, to be honest, what we found out yesterday was even harder to take, was that I think it was the Argentinian, he was an Argentinian man, the Argentines' first time doing the video referral, and it happened to be at obviously one of the most defining and crucial moments of our hockey careers. It was amateur.
Is that usual, David, for the video referral to actually make a decision like that, or is the usual process for him or her to give the advice to the on-field umpire to make the final decision?
Yeah, sometimes it can be a lot more straightforward, simply like if an umpire on the pitch, both of them didn't see a foot in the circle or something, they can go, we didn't see it, so we'll go upstairs. And then suddenly, it's a video umpire's decision will be standing going, listen, it's hit a foot of the defender, so it is a penalty corner. That's the advice, but not to something like upgrade it to a penalty stroke. And in such a key phase of the actual the match itself, it's mind-boggling. I literally can't get my head around it still, and whether it's the jet lag or whether it's just still the emotion behind it, it just doesn't make sense for us.
So is there any avenue open to Irish hockey now to appeal this, or do you just have to get on with it and accept it?
It's a good question. I really don't think you can just let it sit there. And by no means are we on a witch hunt and we're going after this video umpire, but to be honest, lads, it's far away, not only from a humane point of view, where you've got guys now finishing up their careers with international hockey because of this, the lasting decision. It has a lasting knock-on effect with regards to sponsorship, with regards to world ranking points, with regards to so many more impacts than people obviously will ever know. And the bitterly disappointing thing is that video umpire probably hasn't maybe thought about it since.
Yeah, you would hope probably they have. I mean, I can only assume that the hockey's governing body has been made aware of the fact that you're unhappy with how this whole thing transpired. You
would hope so, but at the end of the day, we got a response, or Stephen Finlater from the Hook Hockey, who does an awful lot for hockey in Ireland, received a response from the FIH being like, the umpire's decision is final, and we do not go into, by principle, comment on individual umpiring decisions. So your typical standard kind of politically correct decision coming from the powers that be.
Yeah, because Johnny Waterson has passed through the FIH General Tournament Regulations, Outdoor Competitions, March 2019 rulebook, and he says that there are two little articles here. Rule 6.1, the final decision, including any matter of interpretation, remains with the match umpires and not the video umpire. And then 6.2, all other decisions remain with the match umpires. So that suggests, David, that the on-pitch umpires needed to have a final decision on this, and perhaps they didn't, and perhaps there is a possible loophole.
There potentially is, but we, as Hockey Ireland, our manager and our performance director went to the TDs and the FIH officials after the game to plead our case, because you have up until 2 hours. You don't have to sign the match form, because then technically it's not official, and you can put in an appeal straight away. It's actually cost quite a bit of money, something like €2,000 to €3,000 that you have to put in straight away if you're looking to appeal. But we were told by the FIH that literally that we can't appeal because it's an umpire's decision. You could appeal, for example, if it was a TD's decision, if there was a mess up with the 8 seconds in the shootouts, or if the clock went on too long, or anything like that, but we can't appeal an umpire's decision.
Yeah, so that might well be the end of that, at least in terms of the legalities. As you say, though, there's a knock-on impact for careers and for sponsorship of the sport. Is there any chance that maybe you can use this as a rallying cry and get people on board to, I don't know, to try and mitigate the impact of not having the team at the Olympic Games?
I don't know. As I'm here at breakfast this morning in my house in Utrecht with my Olympic cup from Rio 2016, there's obviously going to be pointers and suggestions towards the games all over people's houses, and obviously guys' lives were directed towards this. And I know mine in particular, I unfortunately wasn't able to take part, so my heart goes out to those guys, obviously, who were playing in the match and who were up close. And I think it was literally 1 second to go away from that, and we're all devastated by it. But right now, I can't really start thinking about the future because it's still so raw. And the hardest thing to accept is that I was there embracing and hugging some of my teammates who I played with for 12 to 13 years. For those lads to have to say, yeah, thanks for the memories and thanks for the years, it's something that you would never obviously have to go through given the circumstances and how it all came about. It's something that I never obviously managed, and I still can't get my head around, but it's just so cruel. It's just, yeah, no words can describe it right now.
On a personal level, it must have been incredibly hard to watch the shootout as well. As far as I know, you got injured just before the trip to Vancouver, so you would have been playing in the shootout and you would have at least been able to have some influence.
Yeah, you can look at it that way, guys, but to be completely honest, it's not about one individual. No individual is greater than our team and our squad, and every single player who was out there was doing their best and what they could do for our country, and we're in the best position to do so. And again, to be so close and yet now so far away, yeah, just can't even begin to explain it. And yeah, as I said, I put out a tweet yesterday. It was the only reason why I put a tweet out is because I couldn't actually physically express myself. I had to do so digitally over social media. So that gives an idea of the pain and kind of anguish that we're all feeling.
Yeah, I think anybody who saw the footage will realise just how emotionally invested everybody was and how close you were to have it stolen away at the very last second is obviously heartbreaking. You know, we kind of talked there about there not really being that many avenues open, but do you want the powers that be in Irish hockey to take this absolutely as far as they can to the nth degree to make sure that there's no stone left unturned in a bid to, I don't know, get a replay or something, or force some action, or at least make sure that, you know, you don't have as inexperienced a video referee making these decisions to decide so important matches in future?
From an athlete's and a player's perspective, what I really hope is that Hockey Ireland and our CEO, high performance director, all of those involved, our board, to really make sure that this never ever happens again. From an FIH point of view, where inexperienced umpires are assigned to such crucial games, and some guy is put into a box that has never done a video referral in a match in his life. That for me is first and foremost, that it never happens again, that any player will have to witness or experience or go through what we have been doing for the last 48 hours. And then secondly, of course, yeah, I really hope that they take it to the next level, because it has knock-on and lasting effects for the governing body, for Hockey Ireland, for generally the sport in our country for men. And how to quantify that is obviously really difficult, but over the coming weeks, months and years is something that will only have obviously the lasting marks from what happened in Canada.
Yeah. Look, there's a chance for some revenge this weekend when the women's team are playing on Saturday and Sunday against Canada in Donnybrook. You would hope that the attention this week will again galvanise the hockey community in Ireland, and that there'll be full houses, and that the women's team will gain some revenge over Canada by knocking them out and qualifying for the Olympics this weekend.
Yeah, and I have no doubt that the Irish women will go on and do so in front of a packed crowd in Donnybrook. And this decision has gone further than ever imagined outside of just the Irish hockey community. It's from players that I played with all over the world, in Australia, in South America, in Africa, in Europe, teammates from my club in Holland here, for all guys from Team GB players, from everyone is just completely baffled by how this has all happened. And unfortunately, we have to be the kind of the sob story once again. And it's just amateur hour from the FIH. I really, really, really do hope moving forward that this will never ever happen again to a team that's looking to try and go on to achieve their dreams.
David, we'll leave it there. Thanks a million for talking to us this morning.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
It's David Harte there, the Irish hockey goalkeeper, injured at the weekend and unfortunately unable to take his part in the shootout. A reminder, the first leg is scheduled to get underway at 7 o'clock on Saturday evening in Donnybrook. That's the 2nd of November. The second leg takes place at 7:10 on Sunday, the 3rd of November. So it's back-to-back against Canada in Donnybrook on Saturday and Sunday for the women's team.